And welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show, ladies and gentlemen. You know, nothing burns me more or burned me more than when my own son, who turns 14 tomorrow, started playing, I guess, T-ball and all that, and even up to the next level or the one after that. Everybody got to run the bases. Everybody got to be at bat. Nobody got out, and nobody won, and no score was kept. And I'm like, what? Because my son, you know, first of all, he's pretty good. And secondly, what? Because, you know, when I was a kid, it was all about playing sports and winning and losing and trying harder next time if you don't succeed. But they've changed everything, and they've changed it for the worse. Joining me now to talk about all of this is the co-author of a New York Times bestseller. In fact, she's a New York Times bestselling author before this book. It's called Top Dog: The Science of Winning and Losing, and we welcome in Ashley Merryman. Hello, Ashley.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. I saw your piece actually in the New York Times op-ed section last week, and I said, I have to talk to this woman because it's so rare these days that, especially in the New York Times, you'd see something with your point of view on this kind of an issue. But it is so, not only is it sickening to a layman like me, but the studies show that this attempt to just placate kids and tell them how great they are and give them all trophies doesn't work. It doesn't have the desired effect, does it?
No, actually it backfires. And we're not even just talking about trophies. We're talking about, you know, constantly telling your kid you're so wonderful, you're so smart, you're so talented, giving them certificates.
Well, how about when they strike out? And unfortunately, this happens even to this day, even in the competitive level. When they strike out, it's like, hey, good swing, nice swing, way to go. I mean, like, come on, you struck out. The guy struck out.
Well, you know, for kids, first of all, you know, it's not that everything needs to be a competition. It's about timing. And we need to give kids who are just learning time to screw up and focus on progress and not the end result, and giving them time for that improvement. Yelling, hey, that was great, when the kid struck out might backfire because that may actually come off as sarcastic. Right? That's what you razz a kid and you embarrass them.
Right,
and
right.
And kids aren't being fooled by this false praise. You know,
how does it backfire on young kids, for instance?
Well, by the age of 4 or 5, they know. Even if the team didn't keep score, you can ask the kids. They know who did what, right? And they'll tell you. So this constant praise, the research actually indicates that kids become too invested in it. They love it until they struggle, but then they can't succeed and they don't know what to do. So kids have told researchers they're more likely to cheat than to risk losing. And in fact, I've even been getting emails from people this week, college professors telling me that their students had cheated on an exam because they thought failing would disappoint the teacher, and the teacher would rather they cheat.
Oh gosh, and that could be traced back, you think, to the nobody wins, nobody loses situations?
Well, again, I think the idea is that it's supposed to reduce the stakes. But I think it actually may heighten the stakes because it's telling kids you always have to succeed. There is no such thing as failure. Here's a trophy. And in lab studies, have to succeed. There is no such thing as failure. Here's a trophy. And in lab studies, oh, you're such a great artist, you're so talented. The kids stared at their mistakes twice as much, and they stared at other people's mistakes twice as much.
So they know, they know.
And they're being more upset and looking for those pieces of evidence that prove you're wrong, and then you become untrustworthy. They can't ask you, can I get some help here? Because the answer is, no, you're wonderful. Here's a trophy.
Yeah, it's insane. And we're talking to Ashley Merryman, co-author of Top Dog: The Science of Winning and Losing. She had a great op-ed in the New York Times last week here on the Steve Malzberg Show. And sticking to kids for a second before I get to adults, it goes beyond just on the field. In the classroom, in kindergarten, even beyond kindergarten. I recall my kid, getting stickers. You get a sticker if you do your homework, and if you get 5 stickers, you get a points for you get a candy or something. I mean, things that you should be expected to do as a student, you get rewarded for, acknowledged for, and I think that sends the wrong message also. I
found a trophy dealer website which was giving advice to trophy dealers who have seasonal business, and they said, well, you should encourage teachers to do more academic trophies, and during the summer pitch to parents that they should buy trophies when their kids read books.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's like paying kids to do homework or paying them to read a book. I've heard of that too.
Yeah, and the research says most of that's terrible. It works as long as you continue the trophies, and the money has to be bigger, right? If it's $5 when he's 8, it better be $25 when he's in high school, and it's a car when he's in college.
Yeah,
you have to keep escalating the rewards all of the time, and it never gives kids the opportunity to say, "Hey, I want to learn to read because I like it. Because it's interesting. It's hard, but I can learn stuff."
Totally insane. Now, is this getting better, or is this, because I'm removed from it a little bit because my son is, like I said, now turning 14 and plays travel and all this and all that, but is it getting better, or is it worse?
Well, I don't think there's any evidence it's getting better. I think that the only times I've seen anybody, like a soccer organization, say we're going to do less participation trophies, less trophies, is because of a budget cut. And in every instance I've seen that, the parents have completely lost it, and they either increase participation rates, they have separate fundraisers just for the trophies. I saw one little league that asked its parents, "What do you want to do, have an entire full schedule of games or give all the trophies?"
Oh, boy.
That was the choice the parents were making.
Yeah,
play more games or give more trophies.
Oh, man. It is sick. But let me take it to the next level, or maybe several levels forward, if you will. Winning and losing. Can you apply any of this to what's going on today in Washington with the stalemate, the budget shutdown? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how closely you've analyzed what's going on, I have an axe to grind. But just so you know where I'm coming from, we have a president who's the leader, who usually pulls people together who have differences, and he has the same differences as the Democrats do with the Republicans. Yet, taking this stance, I will not negotiate. You got to do it this way, and I will not talk to, calling them terrorists and bomb makers and hostage takers and all that when there should be negotiations going on. Is that indicative of narcissism? Is that indicative of a guy who always wins, or what? Can you apply it? Yeah, go ahead.
Let me flip it back the other way, because you could easily say that in both sides, for a long time, whether it's been Democrats or Republicans in Congress, the White House, the answer has been, I must win every single vote. I must win every single ballot issue, press conference, whatever. And right now, you could argue what you just argued, but I think you could also say, hey, the Congress lost the election. Obamacare was voted as a law. Supreme Court voted for it. You guys lost this one. Move on. Where are you going to go next? And I think that's the problem. And I think right now that's the anger right now in the American public, no matter what partisan view you have, which is, hey, haven't we had this argument nonstop and we're not making any progress? Do it differently. And that's the problem, I think, right now with White House and the problem right now with Congress, which is it's always a zero-sum game. And the reality for the American people is it's not a zero-sum game. There are moves. You've got to be able to say, okay, we lost this election or we lost that vote. What's next? Rather than, I'm an attorney, actually, so it's about relitigating the same issue.
Well, then I could just say to you, and I don't want to get political with you, but of course the fact of the matter is that well, then I could just say to you, and I don't want to get political with you, but of course the fact of the matter is that back when health care passed, instead of the 60 usually needed for something of that magnitude, the not one single Republican voted for it. In 2012 presidential election, Obama did win, but I don't recall him running on health care as a central issue. But having said that, the Republicans won the House. They won like 35 seats in the House in that midterm election, running against Obamacare, so they get a say as well. And the Republicans are not looking any longer to defund Obamacare. They simply want the Congress not to get subsidies to help pay the premiums, and they simply want to do away with the tax on health devices. So they're not looking, and they want to postpone it for a year. So
my point is that the Republican House has brought defunding Obamacare up as a vote dozens of times in the past 2 years. You don't even need to talk about the election. Every time it never works, right?
Well, it does. The Senate won't vote on it. Yeah.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. At some point, that's not a win. And rather than trying to do other issues, other progress, that's not a win. And rather than trying to do other issues, other progress, we can't give up on one thing, and that one thing means we stop all progress on any other issue. And I absolutely think that is the problem. We can't look at every vote, every issue as a zero-sum game.
All right.
We've got to look past it.
Fair enough. I'd love to debate this with you more, but this is not the forum or not the the guest to do it with. So I'm controlling myself. But anyway, I really appreciate you coming. I think you're right on target with your book and your premise and controlling myself. But anyway, I really appreciate you coming. I think you're right on target with your book and your premise. And New York Times pieces says it best. As children return to school this fall and sign up for New Year's worth of extracurricular activities, parents should keep one question in mind. Whether your kid loves Little League or gymnastics, ask the program organizers this: which kid gets awards? If the answer is everybody gets a trophy, find another program. I think that's how your piece started, and I think it was wonderful. The book is Top Dog: The Science of Winning and Losing by Ashley Merryman and her co-author Poe Bronson. Good luck with it.